Man, this wind is really kicking up. All right. Now we see. Let's try cold start. Let's see what it does. So hit the key. Oh boy, who's on here? Oh boy. Shuggy! What's up, Shuggy? Yeah, it's just there, okay, whatever. Gotta bring that idle down. A little high. A little bit. A little. Okay. Not bad for a cold start. Holy crap. I have the idle set a little high. A little higher. I could probably drop it down. All right. Now it says I'm live. Is it any better? I hope it's better. Boy, I got a messy workbench in here. I really got to get to work. Okay. So Shook's question was starting line RPM. Okay, so basically, that can be, hey, here I am. Hi. All right, I better not do that too much. I'll probably confuse the phone and freeze me again. So don't want to scare it. So anyway, so you can vary starting line RPM. I have a I don't know if you hear people when they talk about a torque converter talk about stall speed, that kind of thing. So basically, stall speed is when the torque converter locks up. So in other words, when the if you would put your car in gear and you stop and you press the brake, you basically want to push the brake pedal to the floor, and then you just you slowly go on the gas, and it shouldn't go above a certain RPM or it starts pushing through the brakes. Okay, so whatever RPM that is, that's your stall speed. Now, you can what they call a looser converter. So a looser converter, the the fin pitch on the turbine inside the torque converter, by changing that pitch of the fins inside of the stator, the whole assembly there, if you change the pitch of that, it changes the flow of the fluid of the transmission fluid inside the torque converter, which will change when it locks up. Now, a lot of guys, like for instance in the Camaro, we have it can be variable. We have it's a 35 to 3800 RPM stall speed. So, in other words, technically, if I had a trans brake launch device on the car, I could technically launch the car probably 3,500 RPM, yada yada yada. But because I don't have I foot brake, that drops that down. So basically, by changing the stall speed of the torque converter, can change at what RPM you can leave the line. I mean, granted, I could have a 3,500 stall speed torque converter, leave the line at idle too, if I wanted to. It just would be stupid. So basically what it does is your torque converter being looser, and this is where you have to kind of correspond camshaft to your torque converter. So that way the two work together. If your power band is like 3,000 to 7,000 RPM, but your torque converter is only going 1,500 to 5,000, you see the problem there. They're not syncing together. So what you need is your camshaft making its torque and power the same time that the torque converter wants to operate in. So it's the whole thing of getting the two to working together. So that's kind of the starting line RPM is kind of dictated by the torque converter and the pitch and how it's assembled and how it's designed. So that's kind of like a quick overview of torque converter. So I want to wait and see too. There might be, excuse me, there might be some changes coming with Big E's. I don't know if it'll be today, if I'll get it done. It may be take a couple days. We are going to be not moving the house, just with garage space now available at my mom's house. We're going to be taking a Camaro down there, so Flynn gets to be inside for the winter. Yay! In a garage that somewhat has heat in it. Woo! So kind of excited. Stop doing that. It's going to freeze the phone. So what the heck? The freaking dog is losing her mind. So anyway, I gotta see what's going on, but I'll talk while I'm walking out here. So we're gonna be moving the Camaro down there to inside the garage, and I'm gonna also be moving some of whatever cameras and other stuff that I can to with that. So I'm gonna see if I can start doing filming and doing video and live videos from that location as well in the future. So it's kind of a change. I'm actually might drive the Camaro down the street here to my mom's place. It's only like 2 or 3 houses down, so it's not that big of a deal. So I might do that yet today. I don't know yet, but that is a possibility. And then in case the weather doesn't hold for Sunday, I can go ahead and put everything back up on jack stands for the winter, drain the radiator, put antifreeze and everything, and get it ready for the winter nap, and start doing some other projects on it. Mostly electrical we're going to be probably working on this winter on the Camaro. I think we more or less got the horsepower engine stuff figured out for now, that we can probably come out pretty good next year. Although I'm not giving up on Sunday, but it doesn't look good, so we'll see what happens with that. But that's kind of the plan, to see if we can move stuff down there. So there's Holly's here. How we doing? Thanks for checking in. So that's kind of the plan, is kind of move from the trailer where we're cramped, move take the Camaro down to my mom's house. And the thing that's cool down there is it'll be next to the Buick, which that's another story. I can work on that as well over the winter. So both vehicles will be up on jack stands and inside a garage this winter. The Corvette will be then shoved into the trailer, so that won't be sitting out in the weather this winter. It'll actually be in the trailer, protected as well. So this will be the first winter where both vehicles, both the Corvette and the Camaro, are inside and not getting the abuse from the snow and ice and everything else. Well, the Camaro wasn't. It was inside, but inside the trailer, but it's a cramped space. So that's going to be kind of like my project this week is maybe tonight I can still get the Camaro down there and then slowly move, stuff down to that garage for videos and other things to kind of, it might change the look a little bit of Big E's, but it's still going to be the same. We're still going to have the same game plan, yada, yada, yada. Still have some minor projects on the Camaro left. But as you can see, we're pretty much, other than maybe a little bit of idle tuning on the Camaro, it's pretty much ready to go. I would like to change the oil, and I want to double check just the spark plug tightness. And that's something easier when the car is up in the air, which with being in the trailer, I can't do that. So down there, I would have that option to do that. So I might drive that down there yet today. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, so that's all that's going on. Nothing really major. Like I said, I want to check in with Lloyd to make sure he's good for Sunday. If the weather does hold, that he can get some video footage of the starting line for us. Hopefully this thing rips the front end off the ground and raises the tires off the ground when it leaves like it's supposed to. That's what we're hoping for. So, I think that's going to be it for now. I'm going to, like I said, unfortunately, I got to boogie out of here if I want to get this stuff done. The wind's picking up. It's getting cooler. And I just, I'm probably just going to have to get a move on before now it gets dark earlier. And I really don't have the lights on the Camaro. Again, that's going to be a project for over the winter. We want to rewire the taillights and headlights on it so that way everything's working the way it should, hopefully next year for when we go racing. So anyway, guys, can you see me boogie? No. I know. Here goes another story. But anyway, when I worked with Rick Medensi, when we had the dragster, I was crewing on that team. It was like two other guys and Rick. So that was like his catchphrase. Oh, if we got to do it, we got to boogie, which means you got to get a move on. So I guess it's something I just kind of use now. It's just got to get work done. So I got a boogie to get it done. So, yep, we're going to hopefully, we'll see what Sunday brings. I've been watching the weather. I want to see what it is as the week progresses. Also, with the Camaro being in the other garage, that frees up the trailer that I can go over my stuff to see what needs to be done with the trailer, what needs to be cleaned up, straightened up, and have that prepared for Sunday. So, yeah. I think that's it for now. So I'm going to get going, guys. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for supporting. So I'm going to boogie out of here. Until next time, watch out for each other. Take care of each other. We'll see you next time right here at Big E's. Do it for Hank. We'll see you. Bye.